Why breadcrumbing is actually worse than ghosting. Hear me out. Hey everyone, I'm Renee Slansky, a professional dating and relationship coach, and I help women from around the world transform their own love life so that they can have a fulfilling and happy relationship. Now, before I jump into this video, I just want to let you know that obviously commitment with guys is a big issue. In fact, it's probably the biggest issue that I get from women asking me, how do you get a guy to commit? So what I've done is I've put together a completely free training for you. All you need to do is click the link in the description below and you will have access to that free training on how to get a guy to commit. Now today we're going to talk about ghosting and breadcrumbing, and if you don't know what either of those are, then you have been living under a rock or you haven't been dating. Either way, ghosting, if you haven't seen my video before, I will put it up there in the link. Ghosting is when you've been dating somebody or seeing someone, then all of a sudden they just do the disappearing act, like they have gone and you have absolutely no idea what has happened to them, where they've gone, because they're not responding to you. They've given you no explanation and literally they have gone like a ghost. Now breadcrumbing is where you are seeing somebody and they give you a little bit and then they don't, and then they give you a little bit more and then they don't. Essentially they're kind of stringing you along or keeping you in the cake shop, which I like to call it, where they are basically having their cake and eating it too, having your attention and not actually giving you any of that commitment that you want. So I had someone email me and say, you know, Renee, please, can you talk about how breadcrumbing is so much worse than ghosting? And you know what? It's true. And here is why. You see, when somebody ghosts you, at least, you know, they may have left your life, but that's it. You don't hear from them again. Essentially, they have finished the relationship. Even if they haven't finished it how you wanted it to finish, ghosting means the relationship is over. Whereas breadcrumbing is a little bit different because you don't actually know if you are coming or going with that person. And it's like you are stuck in this constant limbo. So it's almost like you get excited because they're giving you this attention, you think it's going somewhere, and then they pull back. And so then you think, oh, well, okay, it's over. Maybe I should move on with my life. And then they come back into the picture again and they feed you a little bit more. And so you get hooked again. And before you know it, you're in this constant tug of war with this person emotionally and mentally and wondering what the heck is going on. In your head, you're thinking, well, there is some sort of movement, but let's be reminded that movement doesn't necessarily equal progress. You can be moving and going in the same circle around and around, which is essentially what breadcrumbing does. So that's why ghosting is actually the lesser of the evils. Let's say that. Neither is ideal, and if you can identify what both are and hit it on the head before you have a chance to actually get hurt, or so that you can move on after someone has disappeared, then that is going to help you really have a much healthier and happier love life. Now, I want to talk about what to do when you are in a situation like this, when someone is actually breadcrumbing you. And if you haven't seen my video, I'm going to put the link up there so that you can watch it as well. There's 3 things you need to do when it comes to being breadcrumbed by somebody. The first one is this. You need to set the standard from the beginning when you start dating them. If you are getting a sense that there's someone who can't commit, who struggles with commitment, or who's basically doing that breadcrumbing motion of giving you a little but then taking and then not committing but then giving you some more, then you need to set the standard. You need to tell them what your expectations are in not a pushy way, but just in a normal way that you're communicating, and then you need to stick to that standard. You see, a lot of the time we don't actually follow through with what it is that we say, and that's why they get away with constantly stringing us along. Which brings me to point number 2. You need to keep them accountable to their actions, and you need to give them consequences for their actions. What I mean by this is if they are stringing you along, then you need to actually be the one to pull back. Not have them pull back, but you be the one to pull back so that they can understand that there is a reaction to their action and it's not going to be a positive one. Well, I'm not going to reward your behavior because it's not healthy and it's not edifying to me or this scenario that we're in. So you know what? I'm actually going to pull back from you so that you don't have an opportunity to keep getting what it is that you want from me without actually giving me the commitment. And number 3, you really need to put an expiry date on that relationship. Often we go into a relationship with the hope that they're going to be the one or the hope that it's going to work out, and it doesn't always go that way. That's okay. That is what dating is for, so that we can get to know the person before we actually have the commitment to that person. So if you're finding that they're breadcrumbing you, if they're not giving you that commitment, and after you've set the standard and you've given them some consequences for their actions, then you really need to ask yourself, why are you investing into somebody who isn't willing to give you back the same amount of investment into you? It really is as simple as that. Your relationship is going to be as complicated as what you allow it to. Don't allow the fear of missing out on love or the fear of being rejected by someone keep you in a relationship that is not healthy and that is not right. So there you go. Now my question is to you, what do you think is worse, breadcrumbing or ghosting? Have you experienced either, and how did you handle it? Because I love hearing everything that you people have to say. Don't forget, I do have my link in below, is how to get a guy to commit. Perfect for anyone that has ever been ghosted, breadcrumb, or benched. This video is going to be perfect for you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do new videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays. In the meantime, bye for now. Happy dating.